You're listening to the Roma Miclat Show.
The month of July is extra special for the Roma Miclat Show. Hashtag podcast with a purpose. You will discover up-and-coming local brands with a heart. Know their stories and the creative minds behind every brand. But it won't end there because we want you to enjoy and experience their products too. So be ready for the giveaway and collaboration announcements. All these for the month of July. Be sure to follow, like, share, and subscribe the show's official account, facebook.com/The Roma Miclat Show, Instagram @The Roma Miclat Show. See you!
What if there was a way to eat healthy and help others at the same time? Hi, we are Gising, and we sell farm fresh goods in boxes. And for every box sold, another box is shared with a family in need. We're able to do this by disrupting the traditional supply chain. By buying a box, you're able to eat healthy, support our farmers, and give to those who need it most. You know how they say you can't have your cake and eat it too? Well, at Gising, you can have your goods and share them too. Order now at www.gisinggising.ph.
Welcome to another episode of the Roma Miclat Show. Our guest for today worked at the De La Salle College of St. Benilde at the Center for Learning and Performance Assessment, or CLPA, from 2007 to 2010. She was a consultant for the development of the Benildean Entrance Examination and the head of the Curriculum Office Center for Instruction, Research and Curriculum, or CIRC, from 2010 until 2017. In 2018, she became the director of the CLPA and extended her directorship as a consultant for another year. Prior to her career in CSB, Dr. Miclat spent more than 2 decades at Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University's South La Union campus, where she held the position of chairman of the Behavioral Science Department and director of the Psychological Testing Center. And on this episode, we will get to know more about Dr. Lina Miclat and Jophiel Educational Consultancy Services. Welcome po, Doc Lina, on the show.
Hello, and thank you for guesting me, Roma.
I was reading your resume, and it's a very parang comprehensive resume, and your career is really focused on education. And can I ask, is putting up a business related to education part of your plans way back pa? Parang was it ever planned na, okay, when I retire, I want to do this?
Yes, but not educational consultancy at first. At first, I really wanted to have a preschool of my own. And the idea came about because, well, I just wanted to be always in the educational setting. Ever since I graduated from college, di ko na sabihin kung kailan, I've been already with an educational institution, and then until I retired, I was still with an educational institution. And so therefore, the blood that runs into me, all right, is all about education, about education. So I said, what will I do when I retire? And so I said, okay, I want a preschool of my own. I have a curriculum. I made already a curriculum. In fact, I already have a concept of how the school would run, of how and what the students would be wearing. Imagine, even that, I've already conceptualized. Unfortunately, the idea was never concretized. And then I said, but what will I do after? People are going to me to ask for guidance, no, in doing the research, for example. I said, why not come up with consultancy services? Mm-hmm. So the preschool that I was thinking of turned out to be an educational consultancy center, and that's how it all started. So that's how it is.
And Jophiel is how young? Because I understand it's less than a year.
It is. It is. I applied for the business, etc., in October of last year, but it wasn't running because October, November, December. I had to fix certain papers, etc., through DTI and then BIR and so on and so forth. And so it only started to function really January. January. So see, January, February, March. March, what? We already
And then
have the
COVID
lockdown.
came.
So I don't know if that's if that's a sign of what, but
No.
I still believe
Hindi naman po siguro.
hindi,
Pero
hindi,
okay,
hindi.
before we move on to the services that you're offering, I want to know, because I'm curious po, why Jophiel? May significance ba yung name na Jophiel? Kasi why not Lina Miclat Educational Consultancy Services, parang ganun. Why Jophiel po?
When I was looking for a name, I of course considered my name and other, but I believe in
Mhm.
angels. I said at first I wanted Saint Raphael because Saint Raphael is my archangel, but I was looking for an appropriate name, and then I saw Jophiel. Jophiel actually is an archangel of wisdom, understanding, and judgment. And then it's always depicted with usually a sword, flaming sword, to mean the sword of wisdom. And so I said,
Mm.
I think if I were to guide people in terms of what they're doing in research, if I were to do some tutorials, if I were to do some trainings, okay, of people in the educational sector, it's got to be, I got to be led or enlightened by an angel of wisdom.
Mhm.
And so I said, Jophiel, and it sounds good. It
Yes,
sounds
okay.
so nice. So I said,
Mhm.
okay, Jophiel, but Jophiel actually has a lot of names.
Mhm.
Zophiel, no Z, Zophiel, Loliel, etc. It's all there. I've been looking, but I wanted Jophiel. So Jophiel, it is.
Wow, interesting story. Kasi I know angel names like Ezekiel, well, of course,
Mm,
San Miguel, but
mm,
it's my first time to actually hear Jophiel. I think the listeners and the audience and the future students of Jophiel Educational Consultancy Services will have an understanding ano ang reason or the meaning behind the name. Okay, Doc, what are the services that you're offering? I want to say this because when I was searching for educational consultancy services offered in the Philippines, what came out was actually yung mga consultancy services that are sending OFWs abroad. Kumbaga, I think they have tie-ups with Dole, but it's really not the same services that you're offering. So now I want them to understand na you are offering a different kind of service.
yeah, it's not the placement thing. It's not
Yes, it's
looking for
not.
a job for you yeah. Okay. Our services could be divided into three actually. The first is academic tutorials, and then the second one is baccalaureate, post-baccalaureate guidance, and the third one would be capability building. Okay, the first one, academic tutorials, would definitely be open from kinder to grade 12 or even college. Depends on who would like to be tutored. Okay, it's a tutorial service. It could be individual, so one-on-one, tutor tutee, or group. But the group would definitely be limited to 5.
Okay.
Okay, so to be more
Maximum of 5.
effective, yeah, maximum of 5. So, and then for perhaps for the tertiary, so for the tertiary, it depends on what subject they would like to have to be tutored on. No? So that's for the college. Now the second one would be, as I've said, uh, baccalaureate and post-baccalaureate. So the undergrad students who are taking up their thesis or writing their thesis could actually come for a consultancy. as well as those who are in the master's program and the dissertation. We can cater to them from the time they are conceptualizing their proposals. Actually, that's even better if they come to us during the proposal stage than after they have defended. Because after they have defended, when you look at the comments sometimes of the panel, and then you have a certain, or we have a certain direction different from the panel, it might have a major change usually in the thesis or dissertation of whoever comes to us. So it's better, I said, if they come to us already during the proposal stage. Statistics, we can do the statistics for them, run it for them, and even interpret it for them. Okay. But of course, definitely we don't do the thesis or dissertation for them.
Of course.
No,
Yes, that's very
no,
important. Yes, yes.
right, because there are some who do it for the clients or they do it for the students, but I don't think that's gonna work for me. That's not gonna work for the center. Okay, and then the third one, as I mentioned, would be trainings, capability trainings, like in the areas of research, topics like basic research, scale development, test development, statistics, advanced statistics, how to publish your work, your study. So all of this could be all under research. And also because personally, I have a background in curriculum development. Then if curriculum development would be the clamor of probably not individuals, but maybe a
Yes.
school, why not? Because I did it for the College of St. Benil, the guidance, okay? I did it for them. So I know how it's gonna be, and I could always do that for other institutions or schools here in La Union for them to have a better curriculum.
How does it work ba? Like because I saw like in February, is it February po ba or June when
Yes, yes, yes,
when you
February.
had your first
First,
seminar?
yes, it's a seminar workshop on qualitative research. Center would do the organization of the seminar workshop. We would conceptualize and organize it, and then I do get speakers from Manila. See, I came from Manila, so I know people from Manila who would be good speakers for certain topics. The reason I forgot to mention that the reason why I wanted to bring seminar workshops here in La Union is because it's gonna save people from La Union and nearby places some financial, or expenditures, no? Because
Yes.
when they do attend seminar workshops in Manila, it will cost them a lot. So why not, I said to myself, why not bring the speakers here in La Union? So that the participants would no longer have to pay for their lodging,
Accommodation.
accommodation, yeah, right. Uh, for that. They would receive anyway the same knowledge that they would supposedly get in attending seminar workshops in Manila or Cebu or elsewhere. Okay, so that's what I wanted to do. That's why also I thought about the research thing. I was at Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University in their graduate school one time, and they were saying, "Yeah, doc, I think we need faculty members to publish. For example, they publish the research because it's part of accreditation." And
Yes.
so I told them, "Okay, I'm gonna get a speaker for you. I'm gonna organize a seminar workshop for you. I'll get a speaker who would talk about steps on how to come up with a publishable work. If I will name a few of people I have in mind, like Dr. Carlo Magno, Mr. Johnny Amora, who's a statistician, etc., would be part of that seminar workshop that is supposed to be organized."
if the school has they have something in mind or they're planning to get your service, they will go to you and then you will say that, okay, here's what we can do, and here's the list of speakers, and it's gonna be like a package that you
It
offer to
is.
them. Okay.
Right. You're right. Because it would depend on what they need.
Yes.
Like if I would say, if it would come from me, I would say I like to organize a seminar workshop on let's say quantitative research, and or advanced statistics or statistics using certain softwares.
Mm.
Alam na pala nila. Okay,
Mm.
so they, like the SPSS, for example, and they know it already. So what is the use of coming up with a seminar workshop when in
Mm.
fact they have other needs, they have other concerns that could be addressed.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
how
So
it
they
will
can
be.
go to you if, even if it's like they're looking for something that's not on your, how would we say, regular menu of service. So you can tailor fit it to their needs. Parang ganun yun. Na ating masasabi.
Yes.
Mm.
Or for example, I was also with DepEd, La Union.
Mm.
Okay, I was with Dep. I was introducing the consultancy services, and I was informed it would be better if I come up with, like, let's say, modules or training designs,
Mm.
and then offer it to them. They will look at it, see which ones they need. So that's another way, no?
Mm.
That's another way. It comes from me, I offer it to them, and they would just choose. Or the other way around, as earlier mentioned, they would come to me and tell me the topics they need. Whatever way,
Mm.
whatever would work, then that's what we're gonna do.
Doc, can I ask, kasi for the
Sure.
K-12 or like yung mga for the primary, right, and the tertiary services that you're offering, does it have to be like a certain number of months, or kasi 'di ba they have yung mga ano ba, tutorial services then in Manila that I know, those offering tutorial for advanced tutorial for English, math, and science. But sometimes some of them are offering it package, and then you have to go to their tutorial school for 3 months. Do you do the same, or paano ba sa Jophiel?
Yeah, that's another thing, no?
Mm-hmm.
Again, I wouldn't know which subjects they need most. A
Okay.
tutor. Okay, so it is better if they come to me and tell me which subjects,
Okay.
because I understand that here in Agoo, at least, no, Agoo alone yun. See, parents are already very mindful of the educational, achievement of their children.
Mm.
So they would want that every subject would already be tutored.
Oh.
Yeah,
Hindi,
yeah.
not
So
just English, math, and
no,
sorry, English, math, and science.
science, no,
Oh.
not only English, math, and science. And there's, why would I prefer where they would come to me, is because there are also some who would only go to you before an exam. Before an
Yes.
exam, like, let's say
Yes, I
they have
understand
a
that.
periodical
Mm.
test, then they come to
Yes.
you, and then all subjects. So exactly, I wouldn't know which subjects. It's gonna be different again. Let's say if I say, okay, tutorial for social studies, tutorial
Mm.
for math, tutorial for math, etc. That might work. That could work when they see it. But again, I would prefer that whatever they need, that's what I would cater to. The tutors, for example, that I would hire as consultants, it's like they're on call. I
It's like
have
you have a
already,
pool of
right, right,
tutors.
right.
Yes.
I have a pool of tutors. So if there would be one or two students who would come to the center and say, we want a grade 5 math.
Mhm.
Okay, we want to be tutored. It's a grade 5 math. Okay, so then I would get. I'd rather call them consultants. No, they're
Mhm.
also consultants or
Yes.
yeah, tutors. They would be the ones who would come and adjust to
Mhm.
the schedule. For example, that's one other thing. The scheduling. Is it after school? 4 to 5,
Yes.
5 to 6.
Oh.
But here I understand merong mga they do it. after school hours. Probably because the students are also doing their homework, and
Yes.
the tutor is there to help them do the homework,
Yes,
or
yes, yes.
guide them, I should say, no, for the homework.
Uh-huh.
Some also might be only walk-ins,
Mm-hmm.
because there are some who would say, oh, sige, for one whole school year,
Mm-hmm.
they will get your services. But there are some who would just, come in anytime, the
Yes.
walk-ins, and
Because
then they won't.
sometimes the parents won't, they will get tutorial services only when after the first grading is done. Kasi the
Exactly.
performance of their kid, or when the advisor would tell the parent na, oh, mommy, I
Alin.
think you're, we need extra focus. We need to, spend extra time to your, tutorial sa anak nyo with math, ganyan.
Yeah,
Oo.
yeah,
Okay, just to for the information of everyone, it's very important that you consult Doc Lina first. I think she has a Facebook page that we will post here on the screen, and you can book an appointment, and you can discuss the things that you need so that she can give you an advice on how to go through the tutorial service if that's what you're looking for. So yun na lang
yeah.
ang ating iiwan. Yes.
Para
Okay.
orientation. Okay.
Yes, parang ganon. Will they visit? Do you have an office right now? Or do you do meetups? Or is it like parang ganito, Zoom meeting or
The
email?
office address is actually our residential address, so they could just come over for the consultation here, or even the meeting up. Yeah,
Okay. What about put the tutorial? Will it be in the business address or?
it will be here in the business
Mm-mm.
address.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're prepared for that. I mean, the space is huge enough, or yeah,
Yes.
it's where we could do the one-on-one or even by groups.
Kalinaw,
Kate here,
and Japs
of Lukso, Kape, Kakao at Espasyo.
We are encouraging everyone to buy from and support small local businesses.
And to all the coffee lovers of the Roma Miclat Show, here's a gift just for you. Enjoy free delivery anywhere in the Philippines when you buy 2 coffee origins from Lukso.
This is valid for the whole month of July 2020. Just message us on Instagram or Facebook to claim your free delivery. Order now at bit.ly/luxoph.
That's bit.ly/luxoph. Kape na ta!
Now, this is one of the most, I would say, important question because we have the pandemic. So how do you plan po
Okay.
to operate in the midst of this pandemic?
Unfortunately, this pandemic has done a lot of, it's
Yes.
devastation. No, because like I've mentioned earlier, to be an effective tutorial, I would prefer a one-on-one face-to-face. It would be better if it's a face-to-face, because you see children, for example, who want to be tutored in math, for example. It might not be too effective if it were an online thing.
Yes.
Because during face-to-face tutorials, the tutor will not only be looking at the answer of the child, but on how the child actually answers, no, the behavior. My background kasi is psychology, and always
Yes.
whenever we try to assess, even in exams like this, even when we conduct admission tests, for example, no, we don't only look at whether the child is giving the correct answer, but the behavior, okay, the behavior of the child while taking the exam. To put back things in its proper perspective, as earlier said, during a face-to-face tutorial, to my mind, it's gonna be a little bit more effective if that's than an online thing. An online. I think the tutorial services might be shelved a little for now, and wait until the ed or the educational sector would already be able to conduct classes or tutorials face to face. For
No.
the seminar workshops, definitely not also, because
Mm-hmm.
if I would conduct a seminar via online, I'm just not comfortable. I'm just not comfortable. I would rather, because it's the interaction during seminar workshops, especially on the workshop part, is also inevitable. No, it's something that
Mm-hmm.
has to be looked into when you are conducting seminar workshops. In seminar workshops, you could have groupings,
Mm-hmm.
dyads, groupings. So there will be time when you will work as groups. How can you do that in an
Mm-hmm.
online setting? Because
Mm-hmm.
an
But
online setting would just be like this, I will be
yes.
lecturing, etc. And then what? Do you have any questions? So it's like, it's just
Later,
a,
at the end of the
hindi ba?
discussion, okay, yeah,
Hindi ba?
you raise your questions. Yes, yes.
Can I
Yes.
give an example? Example, when we conducted that seminar workshop in qualitative research, there is a part there when we had to group them, and then they would talk. No, they would discuss. They would
Mm-hmm.
discuss among themselves about the topic. No, whatever
Mm-hmm.
was given, and then later on, there's a plenary where all of you would present per group your output. And to my mind, that's more effective than a simple classroom setting such as an online setting. How will I
Yes.
couldn't imagine how I would be able to conduct groupings when it is online.
Mm-hmm.
So what is working now, at least for this time of pandemic, is the research
Mm-hmm.
thesis dissertation consultancies.
Yes.
Because as I've said, they could do it via online. That's the one that could be conducted via online and by email. By
Mm-hmm.
email. Of course, just want to know, I might be misunderstood. I'm not saying that tutorials and seminar workshops cannot be done by online. It can, as I've said. But to my mind, a more effective seminar workshop and tutorial service is face to face.
Mm-hmm.
Face to face.
Because
So
again,
that's
it's more than just teaching the child, or I don't, the techniques or the, I don't know, theories, but also you have to, as what Doc Lina said earlier, you have to also observe the behavior of the child, because maybe the child understands naman the theory. It's just that, I don't know, some part of him is really ayaw niya lang, naiirita siya. There are some factors around him. So yon, that's part.
exactly. So
Yes.
like if they're doing at home via online, there are a lot of there could be more distractions
Yes.
around, and you're not sure. Actually, what I want to find out is, di ba, we're moving towards blended learning. we're, we're,
Yes,
we're moving
yes.
towards blended learning. Well, I just thought about it because you asked about online thing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
as to how effective it's gonna be, I have reservations. I have
Oh.
reservations really
As
when
someone
it
who is
comes
really
to
designing and studying curriculum. Yeah, actually, Doc
right.
Lina, I want to have a separate episode for that, because I want to get your points about yung blended learning when it comes to education, because I believe that people in authority should give their opinions to those subject matters. But it's also important kasi the parents are, ang dami pong naiinis at nalulungkot with what's happening sa education system,
Yeah,
because they of course, the parents, not everyone kasi is doing parang homeschooling. So they don't
mm,
understand, they don't know how to do it. So yeah, sige, just a glimpse po, Doc.
exactly.
What's your what's just a glimpse, pahapyaw natin, patikim on or separate episode siguro.
If I may just share with you, no, when it comes to
Yes.
blended learning, this was just my opinion. Okay, do you know that Benilde has been doing it for over how many years now, and yet it's optional, meaning only faculty members who are ready and who would want to do it would do a blended learning, and it depends on the subject that you're handling. About 2010, when my director then, Miss Marisa Rodriguez, and I went to Japan to present our paper on blended learning. So at that time, Benil was starting to come up with they were using a software which was actually free. It's a free software. It's called Moodle. Over the internet, you could use it. But some faculty members already started using this. And I made a study on the awareness and acceptance of the faculty as well as the students for blended learning or using the Moodle. And the results show, if I remember, it's not fully accepted yet. No, it wasn't fully accepted as a learning tool. I see that some people now, when they talk about blended learning, they think that blended learning is entirely 100% online learning, which I think that's what DepEd wants to do.
Yes.
100%? No, definitely. No, as the word would suggest, blended means X number of times you're going to meet, X number of times you're not going to meet. It's not 100% online thing. Yun lang. It's not 100% online thing.
In our current setup, hindi siya masyadong, we can't say that it's gonna be successful because first, hindi pa naman na-test if talagang, like, for example, in public schools, the acceptance of and the readiness of the students and the parents, hindi pa naman siya na-test. So we can really say, let's go there. Let's change it, Yes.
It's kind of dangerous because I was laughing at certain Facebook posts where you would see a student up at the mountain trying to get a signal. And
yes, exactly.
Present.
I mean, the question is, yes, paano yung mga students who are, going to the bayans, crossing the rivers just to go to school because they want to learn. They don't even know They don't even have parang mobile.
Hindi lang students, even teachers.
Teachers, yes, also teachers.
One other thing, do they know how to use it? Let's say there's a platform, there is a software that you could use. Still, the teacher would have to populate, with lectures, etc. Their thing, no? So, are they prepared? That's what I was saying about.
The answer is no. I would say the answer is no.
Been doing it. Benil has been doing it for years already, and yet hindi pa siya. Not everyone would go into it. Maganda siguro. Well, it could be used for basic subjects, perhaps foundation subjects. But when it comes already to the major subjects, I was just thinking, for example, at the De La Salle College of St. Benil, there is culinary. There is culinary art, where it's highly procedural. Some subjects are highly procedural in nature. How would you do that? It's not simply like following a recipe book. So the teacher is still needed. There's still a need for face-to-face. So basically, ganun lang po. Yeah, just a snippet. Just a snippet.
Yes, a snippet.
Let's go to
we will talk more about that on a separate episode. So please watch out for that. Okay, so going back to Jophiel, Doc Lina, less than 6 months of challenge na talaga si Jophiel. But we're hoping that everything, will be better and we can resume to a better situation, kumbaga. Jophiel is now in La Union. So, kinikater nyo po is within Northern Luzon.
We can go to Baguio, we can go to Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, we can go to Pangasinan, maybe as far as there. And here in La Union especially. So that's, we could cater to them. Pwedeng kami ang pupunta doon, no? Whatever they need.
Can we know what should we expect from Jophiel?
Okay, so we hope that Jophiel in the next years to come and even the next months to come would be the preferred center that would conduct tutorials. It would also we also hope that to bring you more advanced topics in research, capability trainings, even in curriculum. And then hopefully also it would be the preferred consultancy center for thesis, undergraduate, as well as graduate and dissertation studies, or even researches. Even the teachers of DepEd, actually, they are already required to come up with researches. So I think the center hopefully would be able to help them, guide them in the researches. So that's what you're going to expect of Jophiel.
Ayan. Tama po ba if I assume na it's
Experts.
like you will bring whatever is in Manila, you will bring it to the northern Luzon, so they don't have to go there anymore. They don't have to, spend less on travel
As
and
yes, as far as capability building is concerned.
yes. Mm-mm. Ayun, Doc, can I just, sigit ko na lang, for the capability building that the service that you offer, usually po, how long will it take for them to, is it like a week
To
training, or is it parang dire-diretso, stages,
um
ganyan? Paano po ba?
no, like the first one we had a seminar workshop on qualitative research. We had it for 2 days. So it could be days, okay? But if it's gonna be something like phases, just like what DepEd wanted me to do, it could be phases, no, from basic research, and then as you go on and on and on until publishing your research, that's gonna take months. That's gonna take
Yes.
months, which should be divided into sessions or whatever. So
It
maybe
will
during
take
this month it's
longer.
gonna be basic. Yeah, it's gonna be a package, something like that, for
Yes.
a long
Okay.
period of time.
Ayan. Thank you so much, Doc Lina, for being for guesting on our show, and of course we
Oh,
for
it's my
introducing
pleasure.
Jophiel. Yes.
It's
And
my
can
pleasure.
you can you share your social media accounts, and or if they want to ask for your package rate, maybe do consultation, can you share your details po?
You could visit the Jophiel page in Facebook, jophiel.ecs, and then you can contact me also through the following cell phone numbers: 0921 364 1872 or 09 300 438975.
Yan. So, thank you po for sharing that, and everything will be flashed on the screen, and so that you can, and also we will put it in the description box. And don't forget to subscribe to my podcast. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram and YouTube. You can watch the vidcast on Facebook and YouTube, and you can listen to the podcast on Spotify, Anchor.fm, and Apple Podcast. So, ayan, muli, I am your host, Roma Miclat, and just to let you know, Dr. Lina Miclat is my mother-in-law. Thank you. Kabado
Thank
po
you.
ako. Salamat po. Thank you so much. And until our
Bye.
next
Thank
episode,
you.
bye!
Okay.